Good afternoon. On behalf of Mayor Brandon Johnson, Commissioner Reed, and the entire team here at Chicago Department of Aviation, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the Concessions 101 workshop. I am Russell Johnson, Assistant Commissioner of Concessions with the Chicago Department of Aviation. I'm excited to be here with you today. We are eager to provide the passengers of a world-class concessions program at both O'Hare and Midway by providing ultimate experience for both domestic and international travelers. We at CDA always strive to be innovative in our airport ecosystem as we go all out to bring the very best in concessions offerings to our world-class airport. From our restaurants and shops, right up to the gate, our airport creates the first and lasting impression of our great city. We remain dedicated to bringing opportunity to all our residents. We are committed to promoting equity and inclusion in all our concessions contracts by focusing on diversity. And we are working diligently to bring new ideas, new owners, and operators into the fold. I want to let my team shine a little bit, so I'm going to leave it right here for a minute. You'll be hearing from our Rockstar Concessions team, including project administrators, Daniel Perez, Davern Boyd, Mary Gallagher, and Adam Cheeks. They've put together an amazing presentation for you. At the end, you'll be able to answer in our Q&A, ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. However, this presentation focuses on the basic points of how to respond to an RFP for concessions at O'Hare or Midway Airport. It provides general best practices for thorough reviewing and responding to an RFP. It is not specific to order up RFP or any RFP that CDA may release in the future. Please ensure that you carefully review any RFP for which you are preparing a proposal to ensure that you are addressing all required and specifics to that particular RFP. If you have any questions about the order up RFP, we cannot address them today. Instead, please submit questions in writing to orderupquestions@cityofchicago.com. This email address will be displayed for you a few times throughout this presentation. The procedures and deadlines for submitting questions are further explained in Section 3E of the RFP. Thank you again for your interest in operating at O'Hare and Midway International Airports. And with that, I will pass it on to Daniel Perez, who will kick off with preparation is key. Take it away, Daniel.
Thank you, Russell. My name is Daniel Perez, Projects Administrator with the CDA, and I will give you some tips on how to best prepare for RFPs. First tip, prepare ahead of time. One of the best ways to prepare is to familiarize yourself with the concessions resource page. We'll have more on the resource page later in the presentation, but really it's one of the best resources for the latest concessions, RFPs, and different resources. You can access the concessions resource page at flychicago.com/concessions resources, or you could find the link on our homepage at flychicago.com. Also, to receive the most up-to-date news and updates, sign up for web alerts at flychicago.com/signup. Our next tip that I have here, we have networking. Networking is really a key piece of building those important connections. Chat with people in the business, attend networking events and conferences, talk to other airports and airport concessionaires. 3 organizations that are great for networking are and also conferences and resources. We have ACI, which is the Airport Council International. We have AXN, Airport Experience News, and also AMAC, which is the Airport Minority Advisory Council. Also, another tip, next time when you're traveling, keep an eye out for the concessions. Take notice of their type, their operation, and design. and also stay updated with trends in retail and food and beverage industry. Think about these industry trends and where they're going, and also what could be tapped into. An acronym that you should familiarize yourself with, if you haven't already, is ACDBE. It stands for Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. It's a minority certification that businesses could acquire if applicable. Bottom line, if you qualify, get ACDBE certified. And even if you don't qualify as an ACDBE, look into obtaining a small business designation if applicable. Our next slide here, things to also think about. Find good advisors, starting with a financial advisor, typically a lending institution. It'll be asked in your proposal, if you submit one, how will you be getting the funding to build out in the airport? Also, an attorney. There'll be lots of legal documents to review and understand. An attorney will be helpful to have at your side. An accountant, they play an important role when preparing the proposal. Also, a writer, finding a skilled proposal writer is an option that could assist you with preparing the proposal itself. And also small business development centers. They provide services such as counseling, training for small businesses. It's a helpful tool to support startups and existing businesses. Building your space. So operating in an airport is expensive. Build out costs at O'Hare, it runs about $1,500 to $2,500 per square foot, with an average right now is about $1,700 per square foot. Labor costs are often higher to attract employees who, number one, qualify for security badges and also willing to travel to the airport each day. Hours of operations in the airport are longer than on the street, often 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Concessions operate basically every day of the year. There's also, keep in mind logistical considerations for the delivery of your goods, who will be delivering, and also how many times during the week. Other specific operation costs include sales reporting, sales audit requirements, badging, and employee parking and transportation. So how your employees are planning on, getting to work every day. And also consider partnering or being a subtenant. So our next slide here, how will you operate and participate at the airport? So here we start off with three options. Option one, you can operate as a single operator. This is where you lease your space directly from the airport. We have option two, it's called a joint venture. This is when a company forms a partnership with another company to lease and operate a concession. In option three, we have subtenant. So it's when your company leases from a larger concessionaire and operates as their subtenant. And then the next step below that, we have what you need to determine how would you operate. We have franchise agreement. So as an example, McDonald's or Dunkin', you could come to an agreement for these kind of branded national concepts. Also, you could enter a license agreement with brands like Frontera Grill, Harry Carey's, or Republican. Next, we have operating as a regional or local brand, where you could bring a neighborhood favorite, such as really go Tavern, nuts on Clark, Garrett's, or Berghoff into the airport. And our last option here is you can operate as a unique airport concept or brand that only exists in the airport, like our Ice Bar or the Chicago Cubs Bar and Grill. And next, I'll pass it over to Davron Boyd, who will cover responding to an RFP.
Thank you, Daniel. I'll now go over responding to an RFP. The time frame from RFP issuance to concession opening is long and may take up to 1.5 to 2 years. First, CDA issues requests for proposals, also known as the RFPs. Respondents will submit proposals. CDA will then evaluate responses through a selection committee and select the concessionaire or concessionaires. Then the selected concessionaire and CDA will finalize the lease. After that, CDA needs to obtain approval from City Council. The concessionaire submits designs and construction plans for review and approval. Concessionaire completes construction and finally opens for business. Here are the general elements of a proposal. You will need a cover/transmittal letter, experience and qualification statement, methods of management and operations. The concession development proposals need to include store concept and design, compensation to the city, projected sales, net income and cash flow, capital investment, and financing plan. You will need your ACDBE participation plan, professional references, exceptions, executed proposal affidavit, business information statement, financial statements. Make sure you read the RFP for other specific requirements. Attend the pre-proposal meetings and tours. Shortly after the release of the RFP, CDA will hold a pre-proposal meeting. All interested respondents should make sure to attend. Names and contact information of pre-proposal meeting attendees will be posted in the data room. Take advantage of attending any tours, whether they're in person or virtual. At the tour, bring a printout of the airport's terminals to reference and make notes on. Take notes and photos. You may not ever have another opportunity to do so. Include another set of eyes and ears if you are allowed. The next thing is to make sure that you review the RFP. Read the RFP and compare notes with your advisors on all the requirements and addendums. Pay special attention to the minimum qualifications, which are experience, minimum sales history, financial capability, and the ACDBE plan. Make sure you understand the type of concession CDA is seeking. Use the RFP data room, which is an online resource with all the related RFP documents, such as forms, surveys, statistics, etc. Memorialize key dates and times. Note that these may change, so keep up on all web alerts related to the RFP and check out the data room for addenda. Ask questions for clarification on anything you don't understand or on which you want additional information. All questions about the Order Up RFP must be in writing via email to orderupquestions@cityofchicago.org. Once again, that is orderupquestions@cityofchicago.org. Don't assume anything, please ask. Follow the directions in the RFP on the timing and the format for questions. Provide us what we are requesting. Your proposal should address exactly what the RFP is looking for as far as concept, menu, and/or retail offerings, design, and rent proposal. Provide all the information requested in the RFP. Make sure you fill out all the forms. There are a lot, but make sure they all get filled out. Don't forget signatures, and don't overlook the evaluation criteria. Identify the criteria on which the selection committee is evaluating. Think like the airport. What works on the street may not translate well to the airport. Most importantly, make sure you carefully read the RFP to address any other requirements. And I will now pass this over to my colleague, Adam Cheeks.
Thanks, Davron. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to elaborate on a few things when creating your proposal. Make sure that you clearly articulate your proposal and use it to take the opportunity to highlight your business's strengths. You know your brand inside and out, so use this to provide some examples that support what you're saying and try to avoid vague statements. Don't hesitate to market yourself. Share any and all relevant data, statistics, awards, or honors that you've won. Have you been mentioned in a magazine or a top restaurant? Put it in the proposal. Keep in mind that this is a chance for you to promote both your concept and your ability to execute it. Be concise and straightforward and avoid any unnecessary embellishments. We would also suggest that you steer clear of any slang or jargon that might confuse your audience, but incorporate enough industry language to demonstrate your expertise. It's important to discuss how your proposal would effectively function within the airport environment. One thing that I want to reiterate is make sure that you read the RFP to address any and all other requirements. Conveying your enthusiasm is important. As you present your concept for a public facility, keep these key principles in mind. Sustainability, diversity, and accessibility are essential elements that must be woven into your proposal. Emphasize why your proposal is the best choice for both the city of Chicago and the airport. Consider what unique offerings you can bring to this environment. Do you have a signature drink, a standout menu item, or a distinctive retail product that you're known for? Highlight what differentiates your proposal from others. What makes it the ideal selection over competing ideas? What separates you from another business similar to yours? Remember, don't assume your audience shares your knowledge. You understand your proposal best, so be sure to explain it clearly and thoroughly. And make sure that you carefully read the RFP to address any and all other requirements. Conveying flexibility is important. Use your words, images, and passion to convey your enthusiasm for your proposal. Discuss how your concept addresses the diverse needs of the airport and its various travelers. Consider the different generations of travelers and their preferences. Cater to various types of travelers, whether that's business, leisure, families, and any others. Address important issues such as accessibility, food allergies, and dietary preferences. Highlight how your proposal will remain relevant and appealing over time, focusing on design and physical appearance that enhance the environment and menu items that are both innovative and adaptable. Emphasize your ability to adapt to changing passenger needs and industry trends over time. Showcase how technology will be leveraged to provide an enhanced customer experience. And finally, and most importantly, make sure that you read the RFP to address any other requirements. And now I'd like to pass it on to my colleague, Mary Gallagher.
Thank you, Adam. We've just heard from all my colleagues on everything that you need to do to get the proposal right and win the bid. What I'm passing you on are resources that we have. You've heard them say over and over that you need to go to flychicago.com/concessions resources. At that website, you can sign up to download a whole proposal. You can find out how to become an ACDBE certified or other business certification, all which will help your proposal gain points. You'll also can sign up for web alerts. Web alerts are not just when the proposal is up and due, but someone may have asked a question that you want to know the answer to also. And those are put up on this site as we get asked and put up the answer. There's also reviews of this Concessions 101, how it is to be a contractor, much data, as my colleagues told you. The other thing is small business resources, the Women's Business Institute, HACIA, Black Contractors United, all have resources for you, and how to get them is listed on this site. Key information as a resource, I want to make sure you hear me. Look again, flychicago.com. Sign up for web alerts so you get the answers to any questions your fellow proposers are putting in. The proposal will be due 90 days after posting. 90 days after posting, this may be variable in case there are questions and such. The pre-proposal meeting, the date is out now, September 30th at the Hilton O'Hare. Write that down. You are totally encouraged to attend this and network with other people and listen to the presentation. There's a deadline of November 8th to write us written questions. Again, I keep signing up for that web alert so you get the answer to these written questions as they come in. Repeating one more time, all questions must be repeated in writing, and the answers will be provided in the addendum to the RFP, which is found on this site. So please sign up, make yourself very familiar with this site and look at it over and over again. Other industry resources, as I told you, that you have been told before, the Airports Minority Advisory Council, AMAC, full of people who can give you good support in filling out this proposal. Airport Experience News is another one, so you can see what's hot in other airports. The Airport Council International, see what's happening worldwide in concession. Again, back to our local resources, the City of Chicago, the Procurement Services, and BCAP. 3 city departments, 3 or our agencies, sister agencies, which can help you with this proposal. Again, thanks for joining us, and I'm passing you back to our Assistant Commissioner Russell for questions.
Daniel, if you don't mind, read the questions for me.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes. Good afternoon. Are there any questions at this time?
They want you to put that link that you all discussed in the chat.
By Chicago.
There's still time to put questions in the chat box. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. They're saying something, Daniel, that the slide wasn't working. So here's one question. What are the odds that a brand new business concept would be accepted? Is this only for established businesses?
So generally, there are requirements for concessions in the airport, and we do require that you have 3 years experience in the concept that you are presenting. So if you are presenting, let's say, a hot dog or burger concept, you need to have 3 years, or someone in your management team needs to have at least 3 years experience managing a hot dog or burger business.
How do I sign up for the in-person meeting at the Hilton?
So if you go to the resource page, you'll see in there pre-bid meeting. You sign up for the pre-bid meeting, and the networking event happens directly after the pre-bid meeting at the Hilton.
Do you have programs like this for retail businesses?
So our RFPs, depending on which RFP it is, generally have both retail and food and beverage opportunities. Please go to the resource page and the RFP listing and look at the opportunities that are available currently. But each RFP will have different things available based on the needs of the airport.
They want to know, could they get copies of the slides?
So Stella, I think ACP does provide a YouTube video of this presentation.
Yep, that YouTube link is youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Again, that's youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Next question, what's the square footage pricing for space at O'Hare and Midway?
The square footage pricing is basically based on the current market. As mentioned during the slide presentation, right now, it's about $1,700 a square foot, and that's at either airport, but it can range between $1,500 and $2,500 a square foot, depending on the size of the location and the type of offering.
Please repeat.
You can
where I
find the link.
find the listing.
You can find the link to the RFP at the Order Up website, which is posted in the link right now.
So they're saying that the slides never showed up in today's presentation. So this is a
Can you see the current slide?
I
or
see
you
it
don't
on
see
my
anything?
end. I see Concessions 101.
Oh, at the beginning.
The slides never moved. Okay. Well, we apologize for that inconvenience. So the website you need to go to is Order Up Questions at cityofchicago.org.
This particular presentation is a monthly presentation. If you go to our YouTube page, you will see this exact same presentation in August from our August list of webinars. Are the spaces for rental predetermined?
So we determine based on the needs of what the airport has at the time, determine spaces and what type of offerings, be it retail, food and beverage, and even as suggested, the type of food and beverage or type of retail services they would like to see. So everything is spelled out in the RFP per space, and you have to go on the RFP and look at each space and each package and determine if you have a business that will meet that need.
How long is the contract?
Contracts generally range between 7 and 12 years, and it again depends on the offering and the type of food or beverage or retail proposal we receive.
Three years of experience just for someone on the team, or the business entity should be active for 3 years?
So the person presenting the RFP or the person or business unit that's presenting the RFP, be it an LLC, a company, or a joint partnership, that combined unit needs to have at least 3 years experience in that field. So any one person in that leadership team or in that company could have enough experience as long as they are part of that company that is submitting the bid. They can't be an employee. We did post the link in the chat a few times, but I will spell it out very slowly for you. ORDERUPQUESTIONS at City of Chicago, all one word, .org.
I see some questions in the Q&A box. Where will Pacific data on previous concessions profit, seasonal sales trends, customer traffic, and lease costs be found?
All of the requested information will be found in the RFP. So as you go to RFP, you'll see data that's relevant to the locations and packages that are listed.
I am a concept development project management company that offers design services for RFPs. What is the best way to get my contact information out to interested business looking to submit RFP bids? Will the
Notice
9:30
that everyone
event
wasn't receiving our chats, so we're gonna post those links again for everyone. And can you repeat the last question, please, Stella?
I am a concept development project management company that offers design services for RFPs. What is the best way to get my contact information out to interested businesses looking to submit RFP bids?
So for this particular RFP that's out, come to the pre-bid meeting, networking event on the 30th at the Hilton here at O'Hare, and all interested parties will probably be there. And you can meet and greet and discuss your business opportunities with the people who will be bidding for locations.
So we have 2 minutes left for questions. Please put your questions in the chat or the Q&A box.
So thank you everyone for coming out today. We apologize for any technical difficulties you may have had, but as mentioned several times during this presentation, you can go to get web alerts on our webpage at flychicago.com, or you can go to the concessions resource page for the RFPs and find out more about that. Both are now listed in the chat for everyone to see. We would encourage anyone that really has an interest and is ready or think they're ready right now to please attend the pre-bid meeting on September 30th at the Hilton in Ohare and gain all the information you want about this opportunity or up-and-coming opportunities here at O'Hare Airport. We'd also ask you to sign up for web alerts on our webpage at Fly Chicago, which will give you ongoing alerts on any type of opportunity to do business with O'Hare or Midway Airport.
Thank you to the team at Aviation. If you are a part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you will receive credit automatically 24 hours after today's webinar. Again, this webinar was recorded. Even though we had technical difficulties, this is a monthly webinar. So if you go through our August list of webinars, you will see it on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Again, it's youtube.com/Chicago BACP. Thank you and have a great evening.